What's up everyone, Brad here with the Money Dad channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about a stock that I saw a friend of mine post on Facebook, and I just wanted to look into it and see if it was a stock that I wanted to invest in or not. And I'm going to do this kind of real time with you guys. I'll make some edits to the video to cut out all of the kind of just dead airspace and fluff. So I'll condense it for you, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how I look into stocks that I'm considering investing long term, okay? So this one, the only thing I knew before I made this video on this stock was the stock ticker was MCOA. I didn't even know the name of the company, so I just pulled it up in TradingView right now. I have that on my screen, you're looking at it, and it is a marijuana company. It's Marijuana Company of America, MCOA. So I added it to my watch list over here. Let me pull it up. Anyway, you can see on this stock chart, we are zoomed all the way out. We're going back all the way before 2017, right? Halfway through 2016. And this stock was all the way up into the, well, got as high as almost $12 at one point. Looks like it did maybe touch $12. And we are sitting at a penny, a single penny. So this stock looks dead, right? I mean, it looks like it's basically dead. Well, look what happened today. 34% up today. So what's going on? Because this stock has been dying for years on zero volume, and now all of a sudden we have massive volume. Well, it's a pot stock, and you know, I'll try to leave politics as much out of this as possible, but let's be honest, we have a blue Congress, a blue White House that is very good for pot stocks, right? I mean, the legislation that is probably going to come out during this presidency is going to be very favorable for marijuana companies. So that is why we're seeing all this volume. Basically, every pot stock has had massive volume and massive gains over the last few months because of the blue wave of politics, right? That's all I'm going to say about politics. I'm trying not to get too much into that in these videos. So let's zoom closer in on here, because when you look at the grand scheme of things here, it looks like this company is dead, right? You can't even see this price movement down here because how small it is compared to where the company has come. So how do we fix that? Well, we can zoom in on just this area, or we can change it the way that we're looking at the scale here. So we just click on auto, fits data to screen to fix that, right? So now we get a better picture of what has been happening over the last, year or so in this stock, right? And now we can actually see some waves, right? Whereas before it looked like nothing on the screen. So what do we have going on here? Well, over the last 6 months, this stock has been moving up, right? And it's come down from almost $12. It's currently trading at a penny. So think about the kind of potential where this stock can go, right? I have done zero technical analysis on this chart so far, other than showing you guys at one point this stock was at $12 and it's currently at a penny. Just think about the kind of potential there if it got back to $12. If we invested at a penny and it got back to $12, you know, that's well, a penny to $1 is 100 times your money. So a penny to $12 would be 1,200 times your money, right? I mean, that's just nuts. That is just a nutty return. Not saying that that's going to happen here, but this stock has been in that range before. So who's to say that it can't get back there, right? And we are seeing some massive gains lately too. This stock was all the way down into the 1/10 of a penny range at one point, and now it's at 1.4 cents, 1.4 pennies. So it's already gone 10x, basically 1,000%. Okay, so now that we know that it has gone 1,000% in the last 2 months, and it can keep going even higher from here based on where it's come from and based on this incredible volume, right? There's a lot of interest in this stock. Now let's start to look at what this company is. I mean, I'm really curious. I don't want to put my money into a true penny stock unless I know something about this company, right? So we know it's a pot stock. It's Marijuana Company of America. So I'm going to look a little bit further into this company, and I'm just going to show you guys how I do that. So I pull this little bar up here on the company. We can see it's got a market cap, so the size of the company is $28 million, so pretty small company, very small company to be publicly traded. We also know that it's an OTC stock. It says it right here. That means over the counter. So what does that mean? It's not publicly traded on a major exchange like the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, things like that. So that means you're probably not going to be able to buy this in Robinhood. I don't think Robinhood offers OTC stocks, so let's check that real quick. Unable to find any sort. So Robinhood doesn't offer OTC stocks to my knowledge, but this is when it's nice to have an E-Trade account. So I log into my E-Trade account, and I can take a little bit closer look at some of these fundamentals on this company. You can also use bar chart for stuff like this too. So if we go to bar chart, type in MCOA, you can pull them up. You can get a little bit of information here, not a lot. Look, you can see the fundamentals section is basically all blank. Not a whole lot going on here, but they do have a technical rating on the stock chart, an 88% buy rating. So that's pretty nice to see. You can see they're also tracking that I had a 34% up day. It is an OTC stock. They've got some articles down here that mention the company. Let's see if there's anything good in here. Oh, here's a good one. Marijuana Company of America issues shareholder letter and outlook for 2021. So that might be something interesting to read if it's short and sweet. Let's take a look. Dear shareholders, it looks like it's going to be the actual letter, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, we expect that MCOA will finally be able to settle all of the legacy debt, most of which was inherited by the new management team during the first quarter of 2021. So that's pretty huge. So they're saying they are going to be able to pay off all of their debt on their books in the first quarter of this year. That's significant. That's very good news if they hold their end of the bargain on that one. And that looks like that's pretty much it for that letter. So got a little bit of value out of that letter. That was good. Basically saying that they expect to have a great year and they're going to pay off all their debt very early in the year, so be watching for that. Now let's pop back over to E-Trade and see if we can dive a little bit more into these fundamentals. All right, so we're going to click on this fundamental tab right here, and we can take a closer look. Their profitability is absolutely terrible right now. Not surprised there because this is a true penny stock. If they were making any kind of profits, they wouldn't be a penny stock, right? So nothing surprising there. Let's see what they got on the balance sheet. So each column here is 1 year, and it looks like these numbers are in thousands. Scroll to the bottom here. Yeah, values displayed are in thousands. Okay, so when you see something like 360, it's $360,000 in cash on hand in this year. That's what that means. Okay, so everything is in thousands. So this is how I kind of look at the fundamentals of the company. I use E-Trade to look at stuff like this. You can see this row right here is a pretty important one, total current assets. From year to year, they went from 0 to 40, 418, 1500, 418. So they probably did something to raise that kind of cash right there. And then something happened where they really dropped off in 2019. But something that concerns me is they don't show 2020. Why don't they show 2020? Okay, because they haven't finished their quarter 4 of 2020, I guess, because when you pop into the quarterlies, you can see we've got the first 3 quarters of 2020 listed here, so no big deal. What's nice to see here is that quarter 3 of 2020 was very good for this company. It looks like you can see like total receivables, for example, was nothing compared to what it was in the 3rd quarter of 2020 right here. So that is good. You see these total current assets really popped. You see that big green bar right there? It really popped in the latest quarter. And I just kind of look at all of these rows in a similar fashion. I'm looking for trends, trying to see, are they trending in the right direction? Is the last column better than the previous ones? Things like that, So That's what I want to look for here. Total assets, they grew pretty well, but then they dropped off in 2019. So I'm really curious to see what the 2020 column is going to look like there. That's it for the balance sheet, but that is my focus. That's how I look at all of these tabs, though. I look at them in a similar fashion. You know, I'm looking for growing trends, right? Look at this total revenue. We went from 0 to 9,000 to 27,000, 252 to 695. Okay, so revenue, we're still looking in thousands. Yep. So revenue has been growing exponentially. That is fantastic. But in the same sense, operating expense has also been growing, right? Cost of revenue has been growing. So at some point, I mean, you want to see a tiny company building the revenue. That is like the most important thing for a tiny company. But at some point, you have to figure out how to control your expenses, how to reduce your expenses so that revenue starts to turn into profit, right? Because if you're not turning revenue into profit, then you don't have a positive operating income, right? You're negative. You're losing money over time. And it's not always a bad thing for a public company to lose money if you're growing, right? Clearly, this company is in growth mode. Their revenue is just gone parabolic, so that is a good thing. But at some point, you have to turn that revenue into profit, or else you're just going to keep losing money and you're going to go out of business at some point, right? So that's the big thing there with the income statement. Let's look at cash flow. Net income is negative, like we were just talking about. You know, they have their revenue is growing, but so is their expenses. They're not profitable yet. So a lot of red here for net income. For total cash from operations is negative. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the fundamentals for me. That's what I look at. I like to look at the balance sheet and the income statement. The big thing here when I'm looking at these little tiny growth companies is, are they increasing their revenue? And sure enough, this one is. It is actually increasing it very well lately. And actually, why don't we just go down into that quarterly for the revenue so we can see how it's been doing in 2020. You can see back in 2019, they had some very strong quarters. Actually, you can see by this bar chart right here, every quarter over the last 5 quarters, the revenue, total revenue has gone down. So that is not good. That is not what you want to see in this company. So that's something that you don't see if you're looking at only the annual, right? If you're just looking at the annual, the 1-year trend, these revenue numbers look excellent, right? 0 to 9 to 27 to 252 to 695. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Well, when you drill down into the quarterly, it's the exact opposite, right? 229, 142, 82, 83, 53. These numbers are going down. That is not a good thing. So we do need to figure out how much the pandemic played into this. That's hard to tell. It would be nice to have those Q4 numbers in this column right here, but we just don't have them yet. So I'll be waiting for those to come out and see, you know, if we start trending in the right direction again. That is going to be very important for my decision on this company. But on this channel, we like to do technical analysis on the charts mostly. I don't do a ton of fundamental analysis on this channel, even though I do look at fundamentals for my own long-term personal investments. This channel has been mostly about short-term trades, and this chart looks particularly nice just because it's been trading in that almost dead range for, you know, months leading up to the last few months or the last couple of months, and then it just came to life right around the beginning of December, right? And I mean, it really popped right around the time that Biden got elected, and then it just went nuts in December. So this company is showing life right now. All of this huge volume looks really good to me. Look at this massive move on massive volume. You have another massive move right here on massive volume, and now we're starting to get another one. We had a 34% day on big volume. Those are the kind of things that you like to see when you're looking at charts and analyzing them for potential breakouts and potential trades. So from that perspective, I will be looking for this chart to set up a trade very soon. I don't think I'm going to get in right now just because we just had a 34% up day. You know, we could start to see a breather here over the next couple of days. It's really hard to tell with these penny stocks. I mean, hey, this thing could go straight up to 10 cents and I would miss all of that just because I'm waiting for a consolidation phase. But if you see like what it did over here, you have this blast off and then it consolidates a lot, right? It takes a real big breather. But it ends up settling a lot higher than it was before, right? Then you have a blast off and a breather, a blast off, a breather, right? And each time it takes a breather, it's a little bit higher up than the last one, right? Take a step up. This was a step sideways, but it's set up for the next step up, right? So I'm waiting for a consolidation period to assess if there is a pattern there, a chart pattern that looks like it's setting up for another move to the upside. So that's what I'll be waiting for on this company. It's a Marijuana Company of America, stock ticker MCOA. It is a OTC stock, true penny stock, trading at 1.4 pennies right now. Basically nothing. You could get 1 million shares of this company for almost nothing. So that's what I got. This might be my next trade. So I will be watching this one closely for a trade setup, a consolidation phase. Okay, that's what I got for this one. This is a true penny stock. Let me know down in the comments below if you are interested in investing in penny stocks, if you think this is one that we could make a lot of money on. I think there's a setup here. I think this could be a good long-term investment, possibly. I also think that this one could be a good one to trade going forward. But we need to see a few more candlesticks to see if it's going to set up a trade for us. Okay, that's what I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got something out of this whole process on how I look at companies to invest in, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you there and in the next video. Thanks, guys.